There comes a time, a moment in the flow of time, when the veil between heaven and earth grows thin, when the winds begin to shift, when the stillness before the storm breaks, and the purposes of Most High descend upon the earth with trembling force. That moment is now. And this word is not for the world, it is for you, O chosen one. There are moments in history when the calendar does not merely mark time, but when time itself bears witness to something beyond the natural, when a date becomes a divine intersection, a point of decision, a line in the sand. July 01, 2025 is such a moment. It is not merely another day, it is a prophetic marker in the realm of the Spirit, a signal from heaven, a divine deadline. From the days of old, God has appointed times, set apart windows in which He acts, speaks, judges, and delivers. These moments are Kairos moments when the eternal touches the temporal. July 01, 2025 stands as such a Kairos moment, not by human calculation or worldly prediction, but by the whisper of the Spirit and the rising urgency in the heavenlies. This is not a message of fear, but of holy alertness. For those with ears to hear and hearts aligned, the Spirit is speaking. Something is about to shift. The clock has been ticking. The long suffering of the Lord has been extended. The hand of mercy has lingered. But now the call comes forth. Awake, sleeper, arise from the dead, and Christ will shine upon you. Before this appointed date, decisions must be made. Alignments must be secured. Hearts must be searched, not because God is bound by a calendar, but because you are. We live in time, and God works within time to bring His people to critical moments of decision. This is one of those moments. There will be those who look back after July 01 and say, something changed, not just in the world, but in the realm of the Spirit. For some, the door that was open will be closed. For others, what was hidden will be revealed. What was sealed will be broken open. It is the closing of one chapter and the opening of another. It is the lifting of a hand of restraint and the releasing of what has been held back. It is the beginning of new assignments, but also the sealing off of former opportunities. The season of delay is ending. This is a divine warning and an invitation. God, in His mercy, always gives a call before He acts. He speaks through prophets, through dreams, through the stirring of the Spirit. And the word now is this: the window is short and the urgency is great. This is not the time to delay obedience. This is not the time to toy with sin, to walk in compromise, to play with darkness and expect to stand in the light. You have been given time not as a luxury, but as a gift. What you do with it before this coming threshold may determine your place in what is coming after. For many, it will mark a spiritual separation, those who are prepared and those who are not. It will reveal the oil and expose the lack. Like the 10 virgins, some will have filled their lamps, while others will be left in the dark when the bridegroom arrives. July 01 is not just about what will happen in the natural. It is about what must happen in the heart. A time of reckoning, a moment of consecration, a divine pause before the unleashing of what has long been restrained. For the world it may come suddenly, but for the chosen, the watchman, the remnant, the trumpet is already sounding. You who are called, you who are marked, you who sense that this world is not your home, this word is for you. You have until this moment, this marker, to come fully into alignment, to step out of the gray and into the fire, to leave the shadows of comfort and move into the light of obedience. Heaven is watching, the Spirit is groaning, the King is preparing, and the time is almost up. There is a calling going forth, not to the world, but to the people of God, to those who bear His name, to those marked by His covenant, to the ones He calls my own. It is a call to come out, to separate, to be set apart. For too long, many of the chosen have walked in step with the world, drinking from the cup of Babylon, wearing garments stained with compromise while speaking the name of the Lord. But now comes the divine summons. Separate yourself from the spirit of the age. This is not a gentle suggestion. It is a command from the throne. In every generation, God calls forth a remnant, those who will not bow to the gods of culture, those who will not dance to the rhythms of a corrupted system, those who do not seek the approval of man, but the face of God. That remnant is being summoned now, for the line between light and darkness is growing sharper. The days of blending are over. The days of mixture are coming to an end. To be chosen is to be different. To be called by God is to walk against the current. You were never meant to fit in. You were never meant to flow with the masses or echo the trends of this world. You are called to stand out, to walk in righteousness while the world falls into rebellion, to walk in truth when lies become the law of the land, to walk in holiness even when compromise becomes the norm. But to do that, you must first come out from among them. You must break covenant with the spirit of this age. This spirit is subtle. It seduces through entertainment, through comfort, through social acceptance, through moral confusion. It cloaks itself in light, but its root is rebellion. And the tragedy is that many in the church have made peace with this spirit, even while lifting their hands in worship. They've adopted its values, embraced its language, defended its lies. They say they follow Christ, but their allegiance is split. Their hearts are divided, but no more. The hour is too late. The stakes are too high. The Spirit of the Lord is drawing a line, one that cannot be crossed without cost. If you are to walk in His power, you must walk in His purity. If you are to carry His fire, you must forsake the fires of the world. If you are to speak His word, you must silence the voice of the culture within your soul. This is not a call to legalism. It is a call to consecration. It is not about rules. It is about relationship. The Holy One is calling you to Himself. He is not asking for part of you. He is not content with half your heart. He is a consuming fire. He is jealous for His bride. He desires all of you, and He is worthy of nothing less. To separate from the world is to come under the shadow of the Almighty. It is to be hidden in His presence. It is to walk where others cannot walk, to hear what others cannot hear, to move in realms where flesh cannot enter. It is costly. It will require letting go of distractions, comforts, habits, and sometimes even people. But what you gain in return is Him, and there is no comparison. This hour demands a clear decision. You can no longer dance between two altars. The fire of heaven will not fall on a divided heart. The anointing will not rest on mixture. And the authority to stand in the storm will not be granted to those who refuse to separate from the system that is about to collapse. You were made for holiness. You were called for glory. You were chosen to carry the light into the darkness. But before you can shine, you must be cleansed. Before you can be released, you must be removed from the snares of this age. So come out, come apart, come away. The voice of the bridegroom is calling. Will you answer? There is a fire coming, not the fire of revival alone, but the fire of refining. A fire that purifies, a fire that tests, a fire that exposes. It will not simply fall on the enemies of God. It will begin at the house of God. For judgment begins in the sanctuary. Before the world is shaken, the church must first be sifted. Before God confronts the wickedness of the nations, He will confront the compromise of His people. This coming judgment is not the final wrath poured out on the rebellious, but a divine prelude. It is a reckoning, a stripping away of everything false and hollow. It is the hand of the Lord removing what is man, made, self-glorifying, and rooted in the flesh. It is a holy exposure of what has been built in His name without His Spirit. This is the mercy of God in motion, because he will not allow his bride to remain divided, distracted, and deceived. The church has, in many places, adopted the culture of the world rather than transforming it. The altars have been mixed. The fire has grown cold. Preaching has become entertainment. Worship has become performance, and holiness has become optional. The fear of the Lord has been replaced by the fear of man. But now the time has come when God himself will walk through his temple with a refining fire. Not to destroy, but to cleanse. Not to shame, but to purify. Not to wound, but to prepare his people for the hour ahead. The idols must fall. The idols of self, of success, of comfort, of control. Even good things, when placed above God, have become idols in his sight. Ministries built on platforms rather than prayer will be shaken. Leaders who have walked in secret sin while leading others in public righteousness will be exposed. Churches that have welcomed mixture will face a crisis of truth. And believers who have walked the path of double-mindedness will be forced to choose light or darkness, truth or compromise, fear or faith. This is not a word of condemnation. It is a call to wake up. For those who humble themselves, for those who repent and return, the fire will not destroy, but refine. It will burn away the dead works, the polluted motives, the fleshly desires. It will make room for the glory. The gold cannot shine until the dross is removed. The vessel cannot carry glory until it has been emptied of pride. There is a great sifting coming, a separation within the church itself. The wheat will be separated from the chaff, the pure from the profane, the faithful from the unfaithful, and it will not be by outward appearances, but by the gaze of the Lord who sees the heart. Some who seem strong will fall, some who seem hidden will rise, the humble will be exalted, the proud will be brought low. Do not fear this fire. If you belong to him, welcome it, ask for it, for it is better to be refined now than to be judged later. It is better to be broken before God in private than exposed before men in public. Let the Spirit search your heart. Let him confront your idols. Let him tear down the altars you've built to comfort, ambition, and control. Let him refine your motives, your words, your walk, because only what has passed through the fire will remain. Only what has been born of God will endure. The days ahead will not be kind to shallow roots. The shaking that is coming will not spare anyone whose foundation is built on sand. But those who embrace the refining now, those who yield to the fire of his holiness, will be the ones who stand like pillars when others collapse. This is the mercy of judgment, the love that purifies, the holy fire that prepares. Let it come, let it burn. Let it cleanse. For the king is coming for a bride without spot or wrinkle, and that bride must be purified in the fire of truth in every generation. God has raised up a remnant, a hidden people, a consecrated company, a holy resistance in the midst of darkness. They are not the loudest, not the most celebrated, not always seen by man, but they are known by heaven. And in this hour, as the world descends deeper into confusion and chaos, the Spirit is summoning this remnant to arise not in fame, but in power, not in pride, but in purity. These are the ones who have been tested in secret. They have walked through fire, through wilderness, through silence. They have been stripped, broken, emptied of their own strength so they might carry his. While others pursued platforms, they pursued his presence. While many sought relevance, they sought reverence. And now the time of hiding is coming to an end. God is about to reveal those who have been forged in the secret place. The remnant is not made by man. It cannot be manufactured by ministry or assembled by systems. It is birthed through surrender, through obedience, through daily death to self. These are the ones who have not bowed to Baal, who have not kissed the idols of the age. They have refused the compromise, even when it cost them everything. They chose the narrow road, the unpopular truth, the fire of holiness over the ease of religion, and now they will be entrusted with the weight of glory. The remnant will rise with authority, not a man-given title, but heaven's endorsement. They will speak with clarity, not confusion. They will carry answers, not theories. They will not bend to the pressure of this world, because they have already been broken by the hand of God. They will not seek approval, because they have already been approved in the secret place. Their strength will not be in numbers, but in the presence of the Holy One who walks with them. They will walk in hidden power. While the world chases the next trend, they will release the timeless word. While the nations tremble, they will stand rooted. While others fade into the noise of culture, they will carry a different sound, a sound born in heaven and released through consecrated vessels. Signs will follow them. Wonders will confirm the word they carry. Demons will flee, not because of a loud voice, but because of a pure one. They will be voices crying in the wilderness, "Prepare the way of the Lord." They will not compete with each other, for they walk as one body, one army, one family under the command of the King. They will weep for the church, intercede for the nations, and contend for the outpouring of the Spirit in a generation drowning in deception. And yet they will be misunderstood. They will not fit the mold. They will often be rejected by the very systems they once served. But heaven will surround them, angels will go before them, the Spirit will rest upon them, for they are not called to please man, they are sent to prepare the way for the coming King. If you feel like you've been hidden, forgotten, overlooked, take heart. The hiding has not been punishment, it has been preparation. God has been forging your soul in the secret place, shaping you for something the world cannot see yet. But soon the veil will be lifted, and those who have walked with God in secret will be released into the fullness of their calling. The remnant is rising. They are not many, but they are mighty. They are not impressive in the eyes of man, but they are irresistible in the eyes of God. And if you hear this word, if it stirs something in your spirit, then maybe, just maybe, you are one of them. So rise, shine, burn. You were born for this hour. The world may not recognize you, but heaven does. And your time has come, the hour is late, and the call is clear. Return, prepare, obey. The Spirit of the Lord is moving not in suggestion, but in command. The days of delay are over. The time for indecision has passed. What must be done now. The time to prepare is not tomorrow, not after you feel ready, not when everything aligns. It is now. There are moments when eternity presses in on time, when heaven leans close and issues a divine summons. This is one of those moments. The King is calling his people to act, to respond, to realign, to repent. This is not about religion. It is not about doing more. It is about obeying the voice that has been calling you in the stillness, in the whisper, in the fire of conviction. You have heard him. You have felt his prompting. And now the window of grace is open. But it will not remain open forever. Return to your first love. Return to the place where your heart once burned. Go back to the place of surrender, where it was not about platforms, plans, or performance, but about him alone. Tear down the idols of distraction, of comfort, of control. Let your heart be broken again for what breaks his. Cry again. Weep again. Let the Spirit bring you to the ground so he can lift you up in his power. The returning is not a backward step. It is a doorway into deeper intimacy and fuller authority. Prepare your heart. Prepare your house. Prepare your spirit. The bridegroom is coming, and the wise virgins are trimming their lamps. Now is the time to examine your oil. Are you walking in the Spirit or simply in form? Are you living from the secret place or surviving on borrowed fire? Do not be found with an empty vessel when the cry rings out. Get ready, fast if you must, remove the clutter. Silence the noise. Saturate yourself in His Word, in worship, in the presence that sanctifies and strengthens. And not only your heart, prepare your hands, prepare to move, prepare to speak, prepare to be sent. God does not refine a vessel without intention. What He is doing in you is not only for you, it is for those you are called to reach. There are people attached to your obedience, souls waiting on your surrender. When you move, chains will break. When you obey, heaven will release what has been held back. Do not underestimate the weight of your yes. Obey. No more hesitation, no more conditions, no more bargaining with God. Delayed obedience is disobedience. The Spirit is calling for immediate response. If He tells you to speak, speak. If He tells you to release something, release it. If He tells you to go, go. Even if it makes no sense in the natural, even if it costs your reputation, even if it separates you from the familiar, obey. Because on the other side of that obedience is divine alignment. On the other side is breakthrough, provision, authority, and destiny. This is not about striving. It's about surrender. It's not about doing more. It's about doing what He says. Your greatest strength in this hour will come not from planning, but from positioning. Position yourself before Him. Let Him search you, cleanse you, fill you, and send you. The ones who will stand in the storm are those who obeyed in the silence. There will be a day when this window closes, when what could have been done will no longer be possible. When the knocking will stop, do not wait for that day to wish you had acted. Let your preparation be now. Let your obedience be now. Let your surrender be now, because the King is not looking for the capable. He is looking for the willing, the ready, the yielded, and those who respond now will be the ones who shine when the darkness falls. Will you be among them? Will you answer the call, then return, prepare, and obey? For the time is now.